Ben Pine joining us live with what it looks like now and update us on the driving conditions there. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, hey, Rachel. The snow is coming down steady, and all the roads are snow covered over the top of some ice. Let's first get to how much snow is on the ground. Our official storm team ruler from my daughter's backpack here. She's off school, so she doesn't need it, but we're now over 6 inches, so 6.5 in that little spot right there, and 6.5 right there as well. So we've got a lot of snow on the ground, and it's coming down 1 to 2 inches per hour. Not only that, what's also bad out here is the cold. We've got wind chills in the upper teens, so it feels really bad. Now, as I get out of the way, you can see the roads here. This is Highway 50 off I-65 in Seymour, and they are heavily traveled. Lots of people heading home from work. There's one accident right there, right across the street from me. And as we came up here from Louisville, we encountered a number of slide-offs, people just slipping right off the roadways. No major accidents, thankfully, but a lot of crews out here are very busy. You got to watch out for those emergency responders and also the plow crews. I talked to the Indiana Department of Transportation, and they said they've got a full crew out through midnight here in Indiana, and another replacement crew coming out at midnight and possibly through early tomorrow morning. The plows are down and the salt is coming out the back, and they said it is reckless to be out here if you don't have to be out here. If you do have to travel, we got some advice from some experienced drivers from the north.
But I used to live in Michigan, so that would mean it is bad for everybody else that lives here, but it wasn't that bad for me if you drive slow.
I moved in here a year ago from Chicago, so this is nothing for me. As long as everybody drives carefully, it should be no problem. That's all I can tell you. You know.
I don't know, be smart. Make sure your windshield wipers don't have ice on them, because mine are coated right now. So that's why I stopped.
And my advice is just to stay inside if you can, because the snow continues to pile up. The road crews are trying to do what they can do, but it's still coming down pretty steady and heavy. Again, 1 to 2 inches per hour. Right now we're at 6.5 inches here in Seymour, right off I-65, but it continues to come down. I'll have an updated snowfall total. Look at those road conditions again at 4:30, guys. We've got Mike Fields here, he's braved the morning commute and now heading home with this evening commute. And tell us about how your day's been traveling around.
It's been slow all morning and all day, what little bit I've been out, and just got to take it really easy or you get in trouble fast.
And you really haven't hit the interstate yet, but how are those untreated secondary roads?
They're starting to pack pretty good and starting to get slicker as the time goes here, so getting a little bit worse to travel on.
Well, be really safe out there. I know the interstate's real slow, and that's what you got to do. And we wish Mike the best on his travel home. Take a look at his Ford Focus here. Got front-wheel drive, so it's doing all right. You can see these big icicles on the front. The treads are starting to fill in with snow, and we got that big ice coming in on the back side of that tire as well. So the road conditions obviously very treacherous. The Indiana Department of Transportation telling me that if you don't have to go outside, don't. That is a reckless thing to do. The roads have snow on top of ice, and the snow continues to pile up here in southern Indiana. We'll have more updates coming up, and we've talked to a lot of drivers today, and we'll take a look at that coming up at 5 o'clock, guys.
All right, Ben, boy, it looks just like you said, stay off the roads. Roads are extremely slick and hazardous. And our meteorologist, Ben Pine, is live in Seymour tonight. I've been watching you all afternoon, Ben, and it has really been mounting there. How much snow does Seymour have right now?
Yeah, it looks like over 7 inches in most locations around here, Melissa. And I don't mind the snow so much, but I've got 4 layers on, and the wind is just cutting through you. Wind chills in the teens, and the actual lows tonight will be in the low to mid-teens, so the slushy areas that we'll have will refreeze. Monty's been talking about that flash freezing. You can see, Louisville over 2 inches, a record amount for today, but we're talking 7 inches or more, and the snow has not stopped. It's been continuing all afternoon and now into the evening time, and here's our bright yellow ruler showing now over 7 inches of snowfall. Heavy traffic here right alongside me is Highway 50 here in Seymour, Indiana, and then if you look down a little bit, that's I-65. It's hard to see because the visibility is pretty low with the snow continuing. It's been crawling on the interstates, and I talked to the Indiana Department of Transportation today, and they say they've got a full crew of plows out through midnight. They'll have a replacement full crew overnight through early tomorrow morning. They've got the plows down, the salt coming out of the back, but unfortunately the snow continues, and with that refreezing, treacherous roads through the nighttime tonight. So they say it's also reckless if you decide to head out and you don't need to be out today here throughout southern Indiana. I also talked to a lot of drivers that are out and about, and they said it's not good, it's not fun, and it's not safe.
On that, they're terrible. You're slick, they're ice covered. So anybody that's heading south, just take time and get some gas and just take it easy. That's all I can tell you right now. Just, don't speed.
Ready, I should have left yesterday. It's cold, it's slick, it's just a sheet of ice out there.
And it is cold, and we've got snow over that sheet of ice out here, and it's only going to get worse. Those temperatures drop, of course, again, down to the low mid-teens. However, there's some good news in this. We've had a couple of wimpy winters. I talked to snowplow driver. He said finally they're getting some good business today.
Borrowed his daughter's ruler to measure the snow. And Ben, what type of measurements are you getting?
Yeah, Monty, we got out here was about 1 or 2 inches, and now the grand total so far is closing in on 8 inches of snow. So you said 4 to 10 inches on your map. We're getting closer and closer to that 10-inch mark, and the snow is still steady. We got Nick Wilson here, lives and works in Seymour. He's got the same year F-150 as I do. How is my truck going to do on the way home?
I don't think you're going to have a problem.
But what I got to do, just drive slow?
Just keep her between the lines. Actually, there is no lines, but just keep her in right side of the road and give her some gas with the Ford.
And Nick's been driving around. How are the other drivers out there?
If you're in a car, I mean, you're going to have problems, but it's pretty deep snow, so yeah. There's ice under it, so.
And you said this is actually going to be good business for you because you work with the collision repair, and after something like this, a winter storm, business goes up.
Yeah, as long as nobody gets hurt, is the main goal. But yeah, slide-offs and stuff, they do increase my business for sure.
Well, be safe going home. Thanks, Nick, for talking with us. Speaking of that ice rink Monty was talking about, look at this. A couple minutes ago, this semi-tractor trailer tried to turn this corner at Stevens Way and Highway 50 in Seymour and jackknifes. The police responder is there now, and that truck is stuck on the snow and ice out here. We are right by Highway 50 and I-65 in Seymour, where the snow totals are now going up to 8 inches and climbing. We've got complete storm team coverage coming up at 6 o'clock. Stay tuned.
Incidents out there.
Well, late this afternoon, the roadways across Kentuckiana started getting very dangerous. Our meteorologist Ben Pine has been spending the day in Seymour, Indiana, and you've been measuring the snow all day long. Ben, so what's it up to tonight?
Yeah, we're about 8 inches right now, and the snow is just as steady as it's been. It's been adding up to around an inch or an hour or so, and I don't mind the snow so much, but we've got a little wind chill here. It feels like the teens, and the actual temperatures tonight will be in the low to mid-teens, so the slushy areas are just going to really freeze up. We just had a jackknife semi here about 50 yards from me. We'll show you that in just a second. So the roads really are treacherous. But get this, the Bennett family here, Rebecca, we got Kate, Travis, and Andres, they are coming all the way from Cecilia, Kentucky, from Hardin County, and they're going all the way to Cincinnati. Tell us about the travels so far. Kind of a big story already.
Oh my gosh, it's been really crazy out there. We've seen a lot of trucks and cars turned around, and a lot of vehicles in the ditch, and spun around and sliding off lanes and into other cars, and some of them sliding into the concrete medians. Oh yeah, there was even a state trooper at one point that had slid off and slid into another car, so it was pretty exciting. But
well, what are you doing to stay safe, because this is difficult stuff?
Four-wheel drive, taking it easy, taking my time, just driving slow.
And at times probably just a crawl on I-65.
Oh, definitely, yeah. There were times where it was stopped completely, and there were lots of times where for miles we were traveling at only 20 miles an hour, so it definitely makes for a slow drive. My biggest piece of advice would be don't get in any hurry, because you're not going anywhere quickly.
Travis, what do you think about all this snow?
I've definitely never seen it snow this much down south before. I mean, we've gone to Tennessee a few times and never seen any snow like this. It definitely surprised me.
And get this, we ran into Andres here, foreign exchange student from Mexico City, Mexico. He's never seen snow in his life. What do you think about this?
I think it's pretty fun. I mean, I think we will have a lot of fun this winter.
Is it a little cold, though?
Yeah, but I think I like cold.
Well, he likes cold, all the way from Mexico here. You guys be extremely safe out there, and this is how dangerous it's been getting. We've got just a few minutes ago, this semi tried to take the corner, slid, jackknife here at Stevens Way and Highway 50, right by I-65. This is exit 50 in Indiana. In Seymour, you can see the police have arrived to try to help things out. But we've seen this all up and down I-65 from Louisville up to Seymour. So if you're going to be heading out, chances are this kind of thing could happen to you too. So the best thing is to do not go outside unless you have to. Doug?
All right, Ben and his new friends there in Seymour. Thank you, Ben. Great.